But here's the real situation. I'll break some news for you on your show. I had a meeting today with Kevin McCarthy in his office in the Capitol, and there is investigations that are being launched into Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland.
Nobody is particularly surprised by this. Finally, the DOJ is doing something, launching some investigations, other charges expected to be coming soon. And so, what do you know? The investigations of Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray are coming. Here is the full comments from Marjorie Greene about this.
I don't understand how the FBI can possibly not have major changes here, why Wray hasn't already been fired.
I agree with you, Larry, and that's why I introduced articles of impeachment against Christopher Wray, but I also introduced them against Merrick Garland. These are the most powerful federal agencies in Washington, D.C., the FBI and the Department of Justice, and they are completely politically weaponized against their political opponents, that being President Trump, anyone associated with him, all the way down to parents at school boards, pro-life Catholics, and many others. But here's the real situation. I'll break some news for you on your show. I had a meeting today with Kevin McCarthy in his office in the Capitol, and there is investigations that are being launched into Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland, and we're going to hunt that investigation as far as we can, and if it leads to impeachment, the Speaker is just fine with it. So that's information for your show and your viewers, and that just happened today in Washington, D.C.
It's a list of everyone else in the Biden administration who is already being investigated. They will follow it as far as they can and inevitably try to impeach them anyway. That's what, as she already said, she's already trying to impeach them. She didn't need an investigation. She didn't need evidence. She is already convinced. So this is almost the definition of a sham. That said, she could also be lying, by the way, or exaggerating what Kevin McCarthy said, or saying this to put pressure on Kevin McCarthy to now okay it. I don't know. I don't know what their working relationship is like, but what do you make of this announcement?
Okay, so look, I think what Republicans say is two things. One is useless. They're ridiculous charlatans. If you believe a Republican like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you literally should have your head examined. You need to go to a therapist, etc. And so, but it's not just useless. It's Gestapo-like tactics. It doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter what the facts are. If you oppose them in any way, they're going to try to put you in prison. They're going to try to intimidate you. They're going to. I mean, later in the story, in the show, we have a story about how a weatherman mentioned climate change and right-wingers threatened to kill him, right? So they try to intimidate everyone who's even mildly against them. Now, Christopher Wray's so let's talk facts. Christopher Wray's a Republican. And he's been a lifelong Republican, and I think in a lot of ways he's been super soft on Republicans. But no, all of a sudden Christopher Wray is like a giant, like to the left of Bernie Sanders, and he's on a witch hunt against his fellow Republicans. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Merrick Garland is maybe the weakest person I have ever met, let alone in politics. And here, I'll give you context, because I'm not a guy who's like, oh, yay Democrats, or yay my side. I'm talking about facts matter, man. So like, for example, Jack Smith, the special prosecutor now going after Trump on the documents in January 6th, that looks like a tough son of a bitch. Today he flipped a couple of fake electors, and he's got immunity deals for them, and he's getting their testimony. Merrick Garland would have never done that. Not would have never done that, didn't do that. He sat on that investigation for a year before enormous political pressure got him to appoint someone, and it looks like we got super lucky that it's Jack Smith, a real prosecutor, right? But Merrick, so that I tell you that because I'm not like a guy who's like, oh, every Democrat is soft. I don't even know Jack Smith's politics. I'm telling you, hey, he looks like he's doing a good job. Merrick Garland is a cream puff. Like he's an embarrassing cream puff. But to Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh my, who was the guy who used to be the head of the Grand Inquisition? The Grand Inquisitor, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, that's one of, like he's like, oh, I will get you, and he's got like horns. That marshmallow is the Grand Inquisitor? And they're like, we gotta get him, He dared to oppose us this much. We cannot have a Democrat even oppose us 1 or 2%. And then the drunk guy on the other end who used to be part of the Trump administration, Kudlow, he's like, oh yeah, you're totally right, man. We gotta get all of them. And then Republicans overall, now let's go to the voters. Trump breaks like 200 laws and they're like, doesn't count. Merrick Garland's the softest dude in the world who hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, the one thing he's done wrong is not actually hold you guys accountable. And they're like, what a monster. We should put him in prison. For what? What are we putting him in? But they don't, guys, that's the amazing thing about that now. Go talk to one of your Republican friends. Don't, but okay, if you do, go on social media, go on one of these right-wing shows. Don't, okay, but if you just ask them, okay, what law did Merrick Garland or Christopher Wray break? Well, you know what? Trump's innocent, man. It's witch hunt deep state. They broke the witch hunter law, the witch hunter law. Okay, all right. What am I gonna do with you? Am I gonna debate you? Okay, I counter with ooga booga ooga. Because we're not talking about facts. So go ahead, Sharon.
No, but they win. Do you know how many questions Merrick Garland answered about the whistleblower and Hunter Biden today? It's insane. Okay, when you look at what went down here with the ex-president and the current president's son and a laptop, he answered so many questions about going soft on him and a crime and not prosecuting and on and on and on. And let me say this about Marjorie Taylor Greene, because yes, Kevin McCarthy is a liar and he's scamming everyone and he really doesn't have any integrity. Got it. But whatever tuna melt they shared in his office today, and whatever talking points he had her run out there with, I find myself fascinated every time you play a clip. And I watch her, and I think if Barbara Walters were alive today, she would be one of the most interesting people. Because she is interesting to me, because she actually believes it, okay? Unlike the drunk guy, she actually believes the things that she's saying deeply. I think she actually has some integrity of thought, and she really is pushing what's in her heart and her little mind. I really believe that.
Yeah, I want to build on what Sharon's saying. I actually think that's totally true. And you guys might be surprised. Wait, so you guys think that she's being internally honest? Oh, yeah, right. That's a little surprising. No, she is she's partnering up with Kevin McCarthy, right? And she's trying to do things that are, in her mind, practical for the Republicans to win more on these issues. And now the Freedom Caucus is a different story we're gonna cover later. Freedom Caucus is thinking of kicking her out because she's not crazy enough, right? But the Freedom Caucus doesn't care about getting things done. They just wanna burn things to the ground, right? And McCarthy's like, hey, I got tax cuts for the rich to pass. I got wars start, whatever it is that there is the awful Republican agenda, right? And Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the camp of, let's actually try to get them done. So in her mind, she's internally consistent, she's honest, and she's practical. Now, at the same time, it's in her mind, okay? It is not on this planet, right? There are no Jewish space lasers. If the Merrick Garland is not the Grand Inquisitor, Chris Wray is a Republican, not a Democrat. Her facts are all maniacally wrong. But at least she's trying to get something specific done. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas the Boberts are like, I don't care. Who cares what gets done? Hey, I'm on TV. Send me money.
Yeah. No, I agree. Authenticity matters. When Alex Jones says that he thinks about eating his neighbors, I believe him.
There's some chance.
And that counts for something. It does.
Yeah, look, there is some truth to that. I think Alex Jones is genuinely a lunatic. Should probably be locked up in a soft room with a white jacket and bounce around for a couple of hours or a couple of years.
It could be fun.
Right. By the way, right wingers, unlike you lunatics, I'm not being literal, let's go capture Alex Jones and put him in a straitjacket and lock him up. He's a political opponent. No, I don't care. He's a lunatic. Let him say the crazy stuff he says, and then you guys go buy penis and brain pills from him. Hey, to each his own. I'm an American. I believe in freedom. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.